Hey guys, super interesting puzzle for you that's 170 years old. This was composed by Luigi Centurini in 1853. It's white to play and win. This pawn is going forward in this direction. Before I say anything else, if you'd like to pause, what do you think the winning move is for white? There's only one correct answer. All right, well, if you had a chance to look at that, let's talk about what's going on here. So, the first thing that you might notice is that these rooks are kind of set up for what might be a ladder checkmate. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, I'm going to jump over to a different board just for a few seconds here. So this is a new board, okay? Different position. But notice how the rooks are positioned. Whenever you have two rooks like this at the end of the game, you can very easily checkmate the king doing what's called a ladder checkmate, where you just alternate the rooks and continue to put the king in check. So for example, you check the king and notice how the rooks make the walls, and you can just go all the way back until the king is on the edge of the board and you deliver the checkmate. It's super easy. It's called a ladder checkmate. Okay. So going back to the puzzle, when we see this position, you might notice, wait a second, the rooks almost look like they can do a ladder checkmate while the queen is kind of off in the corner, not really doing much. The problem seems to be the king. Okay. And so the first thing that I need to tell you is that rook to g3 is actually the wrong move. The correct move is rook to h3 check. Now, before we talk about why rook h3 check is correct, let's talk about why rook g3 is wrong. All right, so let's say you start with this, and it looks like you're just doing a ladder checkmate. They take your pawn. You come down here with check. They move, I don't know, let's just say here. And now we have to figure out, okay, how do we get our rook there? Because the king is in the way, right? Like, how do we do that, but at the same time avoid the queen constantly putting us in check? So you might have the idea, and notice we can't go to h1 because the queen is there, right? You might have the idea, all right, let me move this rook down, tuck my king in the corner, and then go here next move for the checkmate, right? That makes a lot of sense, except it doesn't work. Why? Because check, we go here, and black always is going to have this option of queen to b7. They just pin our rook, and we can't move it. And yes, you can try to move back. Doesn't really matter. They go check. They pin you again, right? They're always going to be able to do that. Yes, you can try to move this rook around and do some other stuff, but there's really no way to make the ladder, checkmate work. And now that the queen is involved, there's just nothing you can do. Black can even just move their king. You just can't really do anything. And you have to be careful because if you like move your rook to the wrong square, now you open up checks here and you might actually get forked. Like for example, look at this. Now you're going to lose the game, right? So it just doesn't work, okay? So going all the way back to the original position, that's the problem if you said rook to g3 check, okay? And likewise, any other kind of move that doesn't force the king, like let's just say, maybe I'll just put my rooks together to defend each other and then start thinking about what I'm going to do, you're not going to be able to win this, right? Because the queen's going to get involved, start putting you in check, and, once the queen gets active and has more options, you can't win. All right, so rook to h3 check, the only winning move. Now, this move looks unintuitive because, like, well, wait a second, aren't I allowing the king to escape and run away? Right? They don't have to come this way. They can just escape. And actually, they can't. And watch what happens if they try to run like this. Actually, before I tell you, what do you think you should play if they go king to b4? All right, well, if you had a chance to look at that, notice the ladder checkmate idea now exists in a different way. Instead of pushing the king down the board like this, we're going to push the king up the board like this. So watch what we can do. Rook to g4, check. And of course, you know, the queen never wants to block, right? Because you just take it and you're going to win easily. So that's not an option for black. So they have to keep moving the king. They're going to try to move closer to the rooks to stop you from what you're doing. But you keep doing the ladder all the way to here. And now we can't go there, but what can we do instead? That's correct. We have rook to h8 check, which is a simple skewer. We're going to pick up the queen, and this is a very easy endgame to win, okay? So that's very interesting, right? When we play rook to h3 check, black actually can't go up because of this idea. Which, what does that mean? Well, it means they have to actually go down this way and take our pawn. And now you can probably see the pattern here. We are doing the ladder checkmate again, but we've switched the order of the rooks. Before, when we started, the rooks were on the dark squares. Now they're on the light squares, and that changes things because of the position of our king in relation to trying to get the final rook to come down. Okay? So, of course, black has to get away. King to a1, let's just say. And now, what do we play here as white? Get a chance to look at that. The move is rook to h1. And the idea is basically the same as before. We're trying to do the checkmate, and so we're going to go ahead and position the rook there, and now all we have to do is get our king out of the way. But what's different now is we have multiple options to do that. We have two places that we can move our king to that are going to unleash the rook. So first things first, if black were to, let's just say, play queen check, this is pretty straightforward. We simply move here, unleash the rook, and that's, pretty obvious. We're going to win. They have to block, and then it's checkmate. Okay, great. But some of you might be saying, but Nelson, if they go queen to b8, they stop this square. So, of course, the logical move is king to f2. But what's the problem with king to f2 that some of you might be noticing? We block our rook and allow the king to escape, right? So, against queen to b8, what is the winning move for white? If you had a chance to look at that, that was a trick question. The winning move is king to f2, which I know I just kind of led you to believe that probably wasn't the move, but it is. And yes, the king is going to escape. That's okay because we have a follow-up. So what is the follow-up here? Of course, black obviously has to try to run. So they come up. White to play and win. What should you play now? Get a chance to look at that. The move is king to e3 check. And again, we see the rooks attacking the king in that same ladder mate fashion, but we're also using our king in a very strategic way by going to e3. And now black has a decision, okay? They're in check. They can't come back here. They have to move forward to one of these three squares. Which one do they go to? Well, they don't want to go to b3, right? Because the king and queen are lined up. You're going to get skewered, and you lose your queen. Well, that makes sense. They have to either go to a3 or to c3. Let's just say they go to c3, and we'll talk about a3 in just a second. But first, what's the winning move now for white? You got a chance to look at that. It's the simple rook to c1 check. And what you've done is now force them to go back to the b file because your king is perfectly positioned to stop them from coming this way. And now you can see the significance of king to e3. Whenever they move back here, again, you skewer and you win the queen. Okay, and the same thing would have happened going back to this position if they went to a3. You skewer. I mean, you check them first, and then you skewer the king and the queen. Right? There's no way for them to avoid that. Like I said, because the edge of the board as well as your king cutting off these squares. So fascinating position from Luigi, 170 years old, and yet it's pretty amazing. So congratulations if you found that. Not an easy one, but kind of a cool little puzzle there. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.